So what I'm going to do in this video is that I have completed the first two or first chapter of this uh, course, which is course overview and a code introduction. So I have typed all those statements written on those to so what I have written. I have a faint image of those things. So I'm going to read those things now. So hi, question is we are we memorize each and everything? No. This only advice his only advice is practice and focus. In his class, we do not memorize anything except MLDL and NLP concept. So what why Python? Python, why we use Python? So it's a supports and we will learn. So in Python, we do system programming, GUI interface, where we scraping database. We use MongoDB, SQL, Lite, and SQL. With the help of Python, we can able to create games, work with robots, data mining, data warehouse, data service. It's all about Python features. Python is very easy to learn and to implement, easy to maintain, and so on. Python is interpretable language. So import this. So and there might be some. So have I okay. So so import this is a command given to Python and there is a poem written down. So the Zen of Python by Tim Peters. Beautiful is better than ugly. Explicit is better than implicit. Simple is better than complex. Complex is better than complicated. Flat is better than. Nested sphere is better than dense. Reliability count. A special case can't special enough to break the rules. So although particularity beats purity, error should never pass silently unless explicitly silenced. In the face of ambiguity, refuse the temptation to guesses. There should be one, and preferably only one, obvious way to do it. Although that way may not be obvious at first unless you are Dutch. Now is better than never, although never is often better than now, right? If implementation is hard to explain, it's bad idea. If implementation is easy to explain, it may be good idea. Name, place, namespace are hooking great idea. Let's do more of those. So how to see our current dictionary, PWD. So it gives an error and what is a variable and how to create a variable. So we can create print this my first program. So this is my first program. In ever code we printed some words, but if we have many of sentence and how to print that, if we need a help, we can Google. Instead of using Google every time, just press shift and tab, we can get the help from the Chunk Typer notebook. Print this is my first program. This is my first program len. So this len gives an error. And why does it gives an error? I don't know. So here it is written type error track most recent call. So take exactly one argument, zero given. So okay. So in the bracket, there is zero argument given, but it takes one argument. So that is why the error has 1 plus 2 is 3 and 3 by 7 is 0.287142571 42855. Now we have moved to another topic, that is system, hard disk, RAM, CPU and access. So from system it goes to hard disk to RAM to CPU to suppose if we play a movie, first our system will send it to hard disk send to RAM, CPU will make that action. In similar way, if we open file our whole database inside the RAM, data set inside the RAM. So now 1 plus 2 is 3. Suppose if we want to use that 3 is 1 more time, we can, how can we use? That's why we can create variable. Variable is nothing but a, that is entity and that will store some data, that is called variable. So a is a variable, is its value is 10. So there is a variable, its value is 4564, and Sudh can be written. So if we type Sudh, we get the output 4564. So what are data types? So int is a data type A, type B equals 23.0. So this is float. So and type C is a Sudh. So it is a string data type, and Sudh type C is a string. So D is equal to 3 plus 5J. D is a complex data type. So when we type D, we get 3 plus 5J. Data type D complex E Sudh. So for Sudh, we get Sudh. It is, if we type only E, so we get the Sudh as a string. Again, we type E, we get Sudh. We type F equals true. So if we type F, we get true. And the type of F, if we want to know the type of F, what is the type of data type of F, then we will get bool. And again, star A equals 99. So star A. So here error is a start assignment target must be in A list or tuple. So I don't understand what this star means. So let me ask. So let me ask. Let me ask. Okay. Me. And now we have underscore A equals 49. So A equals 10. And what does it mean? Underscore A again. So I am revising the concepts now. So underscore A again. So what is underscore A? Underscore A means, is it written there? I didn't get that. So let me end this first. How is it start? So it is not good. Now move ahead. So now we have a data as A, B as, so the A as 4564, C as 6 plus 7J, D as 2, and C as 546.6799. So A, if we type, so we get the output 5464. A1 if we type, so what we get, A plus A, if we type enter a value to A1 variable, so 9877. If we type A plus A1, then the sum of these two will be displayed. So if we type, we can also write the variable in this way: A comma B comma C comma D comma E equals this. So print the every type data, so we get these outputs. So now if A B C D equals this, and so what is the error? Not enough place to unpack except 5 comma 4. So I am also not understanding. Let me take another. So this is last. Say this error There are many facilities which Instagram need to incorporate in it because so class int, class strings, class complex, class bool. So type of every data type we get. So suppose if we want a recommendation word, just press tab only and we will get it. So c dot imag. So we get 99.0 c dot real. So what is this? So I am also not understanding this topic. Explain the. So I am not. LEAC. Now let's move ahead. And what we have. So I didn't understand. If we want to see full recommendation option, just put a dot and press tab. So here B dot and press tab. So invalid syntax. So B dot again it is invalid. So he telling again and again need to memorize. No need to memorize everything. No, his most kindly request is to not even to remember single word. Only practice is one way. Even example, speak Japanese is so hard for us, but how Japanese people speak? Always answer is only practice. So A is should and A plus 4, what we can get. So can only concatenate a string is not a string. So I understand this. So A plus 4, now we can write this. So A in a semicolon get converted to a string. So or a string code can be written as this. Again, if we write this way, also the concatenation will be this. So true means one and false means zero. So true plus true is two. True plus false is one. False plus true is one. False plus false is zero. True minus true is zero. True minus false is one. False minus true is minus one. False minus false is 0, 1 minus false is 0, 1 plus 2 is 0, 2. 5 plus 2 is 6 again. So 1658464 minus false is just 0, so nothing will get subtracted. How to create the user input? By default, user input everything in a string format. So input empty bracket, so dot 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 we get. So A equals input empty bracket, so nothing will be the output. So A equals nothing will be the output. Type of A equals string. So because by default, input everything in a string format. So this is written type A. Type A string. So A is not a string, that's a string. Integer, that's a string. But how can we create an integer? We should add int keyword before int. So A equals int input. Now we get the output. So invalid literal for input with base 10. So I didn't understand this as well. So let me try what is written. So A equals int input to empty bracket. So explanation is invalid literal for int input. So okay, so function inside function there is. So this might be the problem, I think. Okay. So let me recheck if I have understood this right. So is it is inside. Let me see what is. These are the questions which I have. I don't know why my mouse is faulty. So now till here I have. So it is the case of function inside function. So A. So A is empty, I think. So A is empty. So dot dot dot. We get type of A is a string. Now A is an integer. How? How? String and B equals 45. So B plus A. B equals. So only concatenate string. Here C equals this. D equals this. Again concatenate string. So C plus D. So this thing. Okay. So I must delete this. So this is a type conversion. So type conversion is nothing but that convert from one type of variable into another type of variable. Example, converting a string into integer. So A is a string and type A is a string. Again, B equals int A. We get B. So this is the type B. So int A equals input. So ASD, FSD. So A equals the FSD type A equals a string. So what we learned today, how to submit assignment, fast track mode on live session, anything we can do, how to use jump type notebook, just saw basics only, practicing.